everybody, my name's Julia from Bobbins and Buttons, and my business and my channel is all about sewing and helping people to make clothing that they love. So rather than a sewing tutorial today, I'm going to talk about wardrobe organisation and creating a more sustainable wardrobe. Back in 2014, I set myself a challenge to only make my own clothes for a whole year and document the progress on my blog. In fact, I ended up doing the challenge for 2 years and not buying any clothes at all. And even since then, although I'm not doing the challenge anymore, I've carried on making my own clothes, and really the only things I buy these days are knitwear and underwear. A couple of years ago I started trying to make my wardrobe more sustainable. I feel good in the knowledge that I know I've made my own clothes and I'm not supporting some unethical brand. Despite having the knowledge and ability to make good, well-fitting clothes, I still found that I'd got things in my wardrobe that aren't worn very much or not even worn at all sometimes. When you make your own clothes, it obviously takes a lot longer than going to the shops and buying them. And that tied in with not wanting to create extra waste. I decided I wanted to try and work out ways to make the most of everything that I own. It's an ongoing process, and it's something that sent me off on lots of different routes, looking into styling and body proportions and colours, as well as organising, to try and find ways to make the most of my wardrobe. So the first thing I did was commission a notebook to track and make notes of this whole process. This was my daughter's notebook, but now that she's a teenager, sequiny, sparkly, rainbow coloured unicorns are not very cool. So it's actually still got a few of her doodles in the front, but this is where I'm making notes. So on my first page I've got my wardrobe goals. So as far as sustainability is concerned, I want to wear more and own less and make the most of what I own and find new ways to maximise things that I do own. I also want to make better choices and try and avoid mistakes. So I definitely want to avoid having things that are completely unworn in my wardrobe, but I also want to try and avoid things that aren't worn hardly at all. I want to revive unloved items, so that I've got a few ways I've been doing this, so I might be sharing some of those if you're interested as tutorials on this channel. The other thing that I wanted to do was kind of create what I've called a wardrobe philosophy, so kind of like a blueprint of things that I know about my style, kind of like a portfolio of my style. So practical considerations, so for my lifestyle, clothing that's appropriate for my lifestyle, but also things that make me feel good, garment types that I know make me feel like me, so I want to kind of document that a little bit. And then I also want to have a look at colour, because colour is something I always shy away from colour. I don't think I'm very good with colour, and I'd like to be a little bit more adventurous, because this whole process is not meant to make my wardrobe really boring. I still want to have a really fun, vibrant wardrobe. In fact, I'd like to have a more interesting, exciting wardrobe at the end of this, but just something that I'm going to wear a lot and just make the best of. And then lastly, on my wardrobe goals, I've got creating a capsule wardrobe. So I'd like to have key pieces that I know that I can put together and create outfits for all sorts of different occasions. So one of the things that I've done for many years actually is put away, at the end of the season, put away the clothes from that season in boxes at the top of my wardrobe, and then bring out the last season's clothes. So it's almost like having a new wardrobe every 6 months anyway, which is quite fun. But it also gives you a chance to have a look through and sort of work out what you've been wearing and what you haven't been wearing. So for the rest of this video, I just thought I'd show you how I organise and change over between seasons. So I'm not going to go through the whole wardrobe, I'm just going to go through one section. So basically what I do with my wardrobe is I have it all in sections. So I've got dresses, trousers, jackets, tops. So they're all in their own categories. And then what I do is put the hanger so that the hook is facing forward when I first put it in the wardrobe at the beginning of the season. And then once I've worn it, I turn the hook and put it back on the hanger, so that way I know I've worn it. So I'm going to start with pulling out everything that I have worn, because that's easy to know that I'm probably going to keep those things. So all these hangers are hooked on, and I know I've worn these garments. So now I'm going to go through each garment, and firstly I'm going to see if it's something that I would carry on wearing through the year, so maybe I don't need to put it away. If it's something that's specific to the season, very wintry, I probably will put it in the box at the top, but otherwise I'll put it back in the wardrobe through the things that I know I've worn. So with these, my trusty Jane dresses, I've got a few of these actually, and I wear these all the time because they're perfect for teaching, so I really like wearing these. So my classic denim blue one, definitely keeping that, and I'm definitely going to keep it in the wardrobe for the whole year, because these, I just wear a thicker top and chunky tights and boots in the winter, and then in the summer leggings and trainers, and that's a classic go-to for me. So I'm keeping that and I'm putting it back in the wardrobe. I've also got my green linen one, so I'm going to keep that, and my burgundy linen one, so I'm going to keep that because the same applies to all of those. And then I've got my royal blue Emily dress, and again I'm going to keep this in the wardrobe because it is perfect all year round. Again, you can wear it with thick tights and boots in the winter, and pumps or sandals in the summer, so I'm keeping that in the wardrobe. And then this, my boxy version in linen, again I'd wear this all year round. It might be a little bit warm for hot days, but being in England there's not always that many of those, so I'm going to keep that in the wardrobe. And then the last dress that I've definitely worn is this, which is a bit more dressy for me, but I don't wear this that often, but I do wear it and I have worn it, so I'm keeping that. And again, it could work for cooler days in the summer, so I'll probably keep that in the wardrobe. So now I'm going to look at the dresses that I haven't worn, which are on the hangers the other way. So this time I'm going to be looking at, if I'm going to keep them, I've got a new thing that I write them in the book, that they've not been worn but I've kept them, because what I don't really want to do is keep things year on year and just never wearing them, because I want my wardrobe to all be used. So if I've not worn it for more than 2 years, I really need to think of something else to do with it. So but I might also look at these garments and decide that they're not right anymore, and then I want to think of a new purpose for them. So let's have a look what I've got here. So to start with, I've got this. This is a garment that I developed a long time ago, and really I used to wear this a lot, but it's sort of been superseded by my Jane dresses. But actually looking at it, I think I would wear this again. Again, it's fairly timeless. I've got this little shift dress that I wear under it, because it's essentially got an open back, so if you were to bend down, it would open at the back. So I've got a navy and a white little shift dress to go underneath that. But yeah, I kind of think I might give that another try. So, and again, it's fairly seasonless, so I'm going to keep that in the wardrobe and just think about wearing that again. Right, this one, I have worn this quite a lot. This is an Emily dress, but one of the things that I now know, this is not really my colour, and I think that's probably what's put me off wearing it. And I think I probably am going to not keep this anymore. So I'm going to put that on the side where I think about what I'm going to do with that next. And likewise, this garment, I used to wear this quite a lot, but again I haven't really worn this. Probably I haven't been writing down what I have and haven't worn until this year, but I'm pretty sure I haven't worn this for 2 years. So again, I think for me this is no longer got a space in my wardrobe, so I'm going to put that on that heap as well. And then this one, I do love this dress. I think I probably haven't worn this because I prefer to wear it without a jacket or another top, so it's probably been a bit too light, and I do tend to keep a few things in the wardrobe that are kind of for sunny days or warmer weather when it's winter, especially if it's fairly early on when I'm doing the switch over. So I still love this dress. I'm going to keep it, and again it would work for this weather probably better than winter, so I'm going to put that back in the wardrobe. Now this one I made for one of my birthdays, and I still really like this. It's quite dressy. I probably would think about a different kind of style these days, but I still love this dress. So I think I'm going to keep this dress, but make a note that I haven't worn it in my notebook. Now this dress, again, I think I haven't tracked it before, but I don't think I've worn this for maybe 3 years now. So again, I think this is probably not got my name on it anymore. It's not really something I actually love that much anymore, so I'm going to put that on the heap that I'm not going to keep it. And then finally, this dress is one that I have never actually worn, and it was a bit of a whim making it, but actually I don't think the shape is really suits me particularly well, and that's perhaps why I haven't worn it. And I mean I may try it on again, but I don't feel motivated to wear it, so I'm going to put that one to the side where I'm not going to keep it. So now I'm going to look at the garments that I put on one side that I'm probably not going to wear again, and just have a think about what options. So the options I've been looking at so far are selling it on Vinted, charity shops, and reworking or modifying. So those are the 3 sort of things that I've been thinking if I'm not likely to wear it again. So the one thing about charity shops, I don't know if you read the report by Ruth Brown from Grinlow Sews, and she actually did a report for Love Sewing about how charity shops often don't take handmade garments, partly because they have no wash, care or size in them, that they can't always sell them very easily. So that's a big consideration if you're thinking about putting a perfectly good garment into the charity shop. The other option is Vinted. I've had a bit of success with Vinted. You know, you can wait a long time to sell something, but I've always listed that it's handmade and as much detail as possible, so that people have the right idea, and it might be something that catches somebody's eye. So it's a better option maybe, and you might get a few quid. Or the other option is to rework or modify the style. So I'm going to look at each of these with those views, and with this one I feel like I could potentially modify the style and make something wearable. So I'm going to put that on one side in a place where I could look at using the fabric or modifying the style. This one, I have to say I'm not in love with this. It's not really my colours. One of the things that from doing this I've worked out, although I do love florals, I don't think big florals really suit me. They're not really my thing. So potentially this one's either going to go to the charity shop or Vinted. So that's on that pile. This one I really love the fabric. I'm quite keen on geometrics. Colour is really good for me. I do like this. I don't think I'm going to wear it as a dress, but I do think I could modify it or use the fabric, so I'm going to put that with the other green dress. And lastly, I think this one, like I said, I don't think this is really my colour. I have worn it a fair bit. I think this might be one to try and sell on Vinted, or the other thing that you could do with taking it to a charity shop if it's perfectly good is put your own size tab in it. Somebody in my class did that the other day and I thought that was a genius idea, because otherwise it's just destined for landfill, which is very disappointing. So I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of the sections of my wardrobe, and like I said, I've made notes about the garments, the date, and the garments that I've kept but not worn, because then I want to review this again next year and just check that I'm not keeping things that are just gathering dust. I want everything to be utilised. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'd love to hear what you think, and if you've got any comments or ideas how you work your wardrobe out, I'd love to hear that as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.